if you need to mirror an accessory to left or right, there is kind of an unusual way to do it. And here we go. So I've loaded a handbag accessory into my scene, and I'm going to adjust it to fit my character. So I'll go ahead and rotate it and move it up onto my where it would be. Okay, so say you have something like this on the character and you say, okay, I want to mirror left or right, and there's no tool for it. And I know in some 3D applications you can just scale it negative and that will do it. Well, you can't do that with a accessory in here. Well, you can only go down to 0 basically, so it ends up flat. So that's not really going to help. But there is a workaround where you can do that, and that's with hair. So the trick you can do with your accessory is basically put it in a place where it's will be like centered on the head. So kind of figure out where its center of weight would be and move it there. So I'm going to put the handbag kind of right on the head where its center of weight would be, I think. And then the trick is to then convert it to hair. So I will come over in my modify panel, and I'm going to, instead of using the transfer skin weights to make clothing, I'm going to use the create hair. And it will tell you about resetting the facial thing as you're doing for hair, and you don't really worry about this at all, so fine. Okay, you want to select the base all and then just apply. Okay, now hair does let you mirror left or right. So now when I go into my scale, you might have to click on the object again to get it to all work. There we go. And now it is going to let me scale below 0, and I can flip left to right. And notice how it attached it to the hair. That's why you need to center it on the head before you do this trick. Otherwise, you'll end up with distortion when you try and scale it, because its center will be in a much different place. And then once you've done this, come over here into your modify panel and convert it back to an accessory. All right, before we do that, we're going to look at the attributes, and you'll see here the scale is still not really showing the difference I made. You can't change the scale by putting numbers in these boxes. You can only do it using the gizmo. So that's just a weird little oddity of this trick. Okay, so once you have your mirrored prop, then convert it back to an accessory, so it's no longer hair, and make sure you say bake current shape. Otherwise, it's going to revert back to what it was, and convert. Okay, now that it's back in the accessory, I'll just move it down where I want it on my character. So there you go. And you might have to adjust a little bit, and this is a far from perfect method, because it's not really made for doing this. So you may need to tweak it a little bit further in the edit mesh, or things like that. So anyway, I hope that helps you at least get a start.